I say there is a God, I have to prove it. You do not have to disprove it.
That's
like
right.
if I say, Ellen, right now there are three little green men dancing on the roof of this very building. You do not have to run up there and come down and say, Lenny, I checked, there ain't no three devils. I am the one that has to prove that there are three devils up there. Now that applies to every statement about everything.
Yes.
That principle that the burden of proof is on the maker of the positive statement is what you might call a razor. You know, there's Occam's razor
Yes.
in philosophy. If you have a solution for a question with two parts and another one in three parts, the two-part solution is the correct one, as long as it covers the subject matter.
Right.
And that saves you from unnecessary thinking. That's what it's about, okay?
Yeah.
So similarly, if someone says there is a God, they have to prove it. An atheist says there is no God, but that's not a positive statement.
Right.
I am only reacting to the person who says there is a God.
Right.
Okay?
Well, there's a expression, atheism is a conclusion.
Is a conclusion, but all right, but what I'm saying is that I am, like for example, if you're on trial, you do not have to take the stand to prove that you didn't commit the crime.
That's correct.
All right? It's the burden of proof is on the maker of the positive statement. The prosecution is saying that you committed a crime.
Okay, let's see if we can get two more in here.
So you got my point.
We got
in other words, that's the that's a rule of logic and applies to everything, not just God.
Okay. This
Okay.
person writes, my only regret being an atheist is that I was raised, indoctrinated into the Lutheran Church. I'm upset about it because I feel if I would have had the option to decide more myself, my life would have been very different, more precious. I'm 46. At least I have some time to live, knowing every day really should be treated very precious. And I try to teach my kids to decide for themselves. Yet I also teach them that this is it. Better take care of it because it's beautiful, short, and sweet. Thanks. Hold on. This person writes, I only have one question. Please do not take this question in the wrong way. I am not being sarcastic or hateful in any way. On your homepage, there is a statement of philosophy, from what I understand, that tells you how you don't believe in God, but that you believe in man's ability to create a heaven on earth and to make life to be the best it can be. Are you not making yourself into your own God? Please take the time to think about this question and respond to me as soon as you can. So are we being our own gods?
First of all, that's arrogant by even assuming that we haven't thought about it. Like, right off the bat, that is rude. It's just, you know, I get that all the time, you know. Well, if you just read Scripture, well, if you just think about it, obviously we're atheists because we haven't read every religious scripture in the world, you know.
So if you make a statement about life, they're equating that with being your own God.
Well, look, I mean,
because you use the term heaven, which is theistic and all that stuff. This person's obviously not familiar with metaphor or any of that figurative speech, you know.
I challenge any religious person out there to have read as much religious material as I have. I've read the Catholic Bible, the Protestant Bible, the Jewish Bible, the Koran, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Bhagavad Gita, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is probably the oldest book in the world, if not the Gilgamesh cycle in Babylonia, etc. I have had the painful task of reading John Calvin. You deserve a Congressional Medal of Honor.
You certainly do.
Oh, man, and the Purple Heart.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, painful
and a couple of Valium as well.
Yeah, that's my excuse for the writing.
Good for you.
But, I mean, what I'm getting at is that, look, the fact of the matter is that the proof of the pudding is in the eating, all right? If you say there is a God, prove it. Okay?
Right.
I don't have to run around chasing after every fanatic.
No.
You know, I had a lawyer, Charles Gary, who was Jim Jones' lawyer from Jonestown, all right? You know, that Jones believed in God, and then he killed 900 people.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
you know what?
let him come up.
Are we still on this one about are we being the equivalent of a God? We're still doing that one because I was reading a few.
You're not an equivalent of a God?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the bottom line is
You are to me, Ellen. Suck up.
The answer is no, there aren't any gods. We are atheists just giving our opinion about the way we think it's wise to live
There's no
without
God.
a belief in a
What
God.
is this?
That's
Listen,
it.
all you got to go
It's a silly
is
question.
to Nashville, Tennessee. They got a reproduction of the Acropolis. Are you ready for that? And right in there is Athena, a giant statue of Athena. And now you tell me there is no God. I mean,
Well,
I think that they were reading-
there's a goddess.
there you go.
No God, but there's a goddess.
Yeah.
I had, never mind. I'm not even going to go there.
Oh, thank you, folks, for watching and
No.
listening to the Atheist Viewpoint. We're counting down now. Thank you,
We
Dennis.
certainly are.
Thank you, Lenny.
See, I'm
Yeah.
just holding up my book. I'm getting ready to go home. I'm getting out of here.
We'll
Yeah.
see you next week on the Atheist Viewpoint. Thanks for watching.